Okay. Here we are in the days of exploring with teachers after my 7 years at the ashram. Four years with these teachers after the 7 years at the ashram, making a total of 11 years. Here we are. I'm exploring now with many teachers after my 7 years at the ashram. And my teacher moved me along to these teachers. I'm now in this flow for 4 years. And in these days, when I would invite in grace into the dream time, which is a practice I had been doing for many, many, many years, I would refer to grace, divine source, in those days as the beloved. And I would write in my dream journal, "Dear beloved, please tonight let me have a dream that gives me a direct experience regarding whatever I was exploring at the time." I had found over the many, many years of this dream practice that you could invite in the divine source, helper beings, into the dream time and have all kinds of amazing direct experiences, helping with the unfolding into our true nature. So one night, before going to sleep, in my dream journal I wrote, "Dear beloved, please tonight let me have a dream that gives me a direct experience of the ultimate truth that I have been opening into and that collapses back a bit, and then I open up into and it collapses back a bit, and open into and collapses back a bit. Please, beloved, let me have a direct experience of the ultimate truth that I am available to. Thank you so much. All my love, Mitch." And I closed my dream journal, placed the pin on top on the bedside table, and went to sleep. Here is the dream that arrived. So we're now in a dream landscape. The dream is opening up, and I'm kneeling beside my bed in the classic position of, a bedside request to the beloved. So I'm on my knees, my elbows are on the mattress, my hands are together at my heart. I'm looking up, and in this dream, kneeling by the bed, I'm inviting in the beloved, and I say, "Dear beloved, please let me have a dream tonight that gives me a direct experience." And as soon as I said this, kneeling beside the bed, within a dream, asking for a dream, of the ultimate truth. In that moment, in the dream, as I called to the beloved, asking for the beloved's help to please bring me a dream that gives me a direct experience. As soon as that was said within the dream, I realized that the beloved that I had always called to for help all these years, the beloved is me. I am the beloved. I am this beloved. I am the beloved I've been calling to all these years. It was a direct experience of the truth that I and you and all of us are unique expressions of that divine source. The beloved is actually this beloved. We are this beloved. The beloved is us. It is this. We are the beloved that we call to. There is no separation. In that moment, I realized I directly experienced oneness. I am the beloved I've been calling to. I, in the dream, get up from my kneeling position at the side of the dream bed. This is all in a dream. And so my dream me gets up and just lays on the bed, because there's no longer a need to call for a dream, because I am now directly experiencing that I am this beloved that I've been calling to. So I lay in the bed. My dream essence, is laying now in the bed. And the spiritual teacher that I was exploring with at the time walks up to the side of the bed, looks at me with such love and tenderness and compassion, and says to me, I get the sense that you've known this all along. As soon as this spiritual teacher says this to me, I can feel the eternal power of absolute truth that I am, the infinite, eternal, divine being that I am. In that moment, in the very heart of my dream body, as this is said to me. And I can just feel the power of that truth. And in response to this sweet statement to me, I get the sense that you've known this all along. What comes out of me with eternal, divine, powerful truth was from the very start. Oh, as soon as those words tumbled from me within the dream, just absolute, eternal oneness from the very start. Oh, and that was so powerful and so pure and so true. It woke me from the dream. And I sat up on the side of my bed and rested in that truth. I am the beloved I've been calling to. And we are in this experience. And in this waking moment, as I was sitting on the side of my bed, I realized this is also a dream. This beloved dream. It is a dream of this beloved that we are. We are this beloved that is dreaming all of this. Dreams within dreams within dreams. And we can be awake within this beloved dream. Oh, absolute truth revealed, directly experienced in this beloved dream awake. The lovely possibility of a human life. And so I realized I wanted to write this dream down into my dream journal. And this was early in the morning, about 5 a.m. And I was aware that in several hours I would need to go downstairs and check on everybody. We were doing a week-long retreat at my old studio that week, and there were people staying with me at my house, retreat participants. And I was aware that in several hours I would need to go downstairs and have some breakfast and check in on them, and we would all get in my car and drive to the studio and be in our day. I think it was maybe the 5th day of the 7-day retreat that I was hosting there at my old studio. And the spiritual teacher who appeared in the dream was the teacher that we were all having the 7-day retreat with, that I was hosting there at my old studio. And as I began to write in my dream journal the elements of this absolute reveal of the truth, as I'm writing it, little by little, as the words started to happen from the pen onto the page of the journal, all of a sudden I could feel someone, a clever someone, writing it very cleverly. And then as he was writing it very cleverly and strategically, I became aware that this someone, this spiritual seeker someone, was strategizing how he would cleverly share this absolutely true experience during that day somewhere. I could see my someone, my clever spiritual advanced student someone, cleverly strategizing how he would share it that day during the gathering to reveal how amazing he is to have these true reveal dreams. And as soon as that was seen, there was the infinite eternal beloved that I am, aware of this Mitch advanced student needing to be special identity happening, writing the dream down. And it was so sweet. And so there was so much compassion and love for him. He's just been for so many years trying to find the truth. And now he's going to prove it to everyone at the gathering and share with them this dream that reveals the truth. And hey, look at me, everybody. I have now found the truth. Ba-ba-ba, and as soon as all of that was seen, the dream journal and the pen just fell out of my hands, out of my lap onto the ground. And I just fell to my hands and knees and pranamed in absolute surrender. And I just felt my whole body just being crushed with the absolute eternity of existence, just crushing my whole body. It was as if I was in a car crusher in a junkyard. If you've ever seen in a movie or a TV show where they have those cars in a junkyard and they have that car crusher that just crushes the whole car down into a little block of metal. It was like that. I was being completely crushed. I didn't even know if I would survive it. I could hardly breathe. And it was so crushy and intense and so much pressure. And it was hard to breathe. And I didn't know if I would survive it. It was so intense. It lasted for hours and hours and hours, because the next thing I know, the sun is coming up outside. Remember, this started at about 5 a.m. The sun is coming up outside. I look over at the clock and it's 8:30 a.m. and we need to be there at 9 for the 5th day of the 7-day retreat with the spiritual teacher and all the participants. And 2 of the participants are downstairs that I need to go gather up, and we need to get to the studio. And can I even drive? I don't even know if I can function well enough to drive my car. So somehow I end up downstairs, and there they are, finishing up breakfast, and I look at them and I say, "Let's go." And they say, "Aren't you going to have any breakfast?" And I said, "No, we need to get going." And so they finished up, and we got in my car, and I drove us to my old studio, and we walked in, and I prepared all the things, that we needed, the tea urn and all the things. And I had a big comfortable couch at the old studio. And after I prepared everything and the people started arriving and the spiritual teacher was there and everything was all set, I went and just laid down on the couch, got a blanket and a pillow, and I just laid down on the couch. So the whole morning I was just laying on the couch. I wasn't asleep, and yet I wasn't functional. I was just in a deep state of pure existing presence for the whole morning flow. Next thing I know, the spiritual teacher is very kindly nudging my shoulder, kneeling down, nudging my shoulder on the couch and saying, "Mitch, it's time for lunch." And this is something I would normally, facilitate and organize for everybody. And when he said that to me, "Mitch, it's time for lunch," I opened my eyes and I said, "You're going to have to handle that today." And he had a surprised look on his face and he said, "Oh, okay." And I closed my eyes again. Next thing I know, he's nudging my shoulder again and he says, "Okay, so Mitch, we're done for today. How are you doing?" I opened my eyes and I said, "Oh, so great." And he says, "Are you going to stay here for the night? Or are you going to drive home?" I didn't know which one it would be. So I ended up sleeping on the couch that night. And then we rolled into the final days of the retreat. Never did share the dream. Never needed to. There was no longer a need for specialness. So simple, so natural. This is the inevitability of us, each of us, in our journey. This return, this letting go into what we already are. The spiritual awakening journey isn't an achievement or an accomplishment or something that we attain. It's relaxing back into what we already are. We already are this beloved, this divinity, this elegant wholeness. Each of us a unique expression of source essence. We, through our practices, untangle from the misidentity of a separate someone, that someone that was very strategically writing the dream to then, figure out a really good way to seem special. That someone. We craft these identities to feel enough. So if we're special, it counters the core belief that I'm not good enough. That's what happens when you incarnate in a human life. You gather up this belief that you're not good enough, that you're unworthy, that you're a fraud, a phony, separate. And we craft specialness identities to counter that core belief. The truth is revealed in the direct experience and through practices like name that thought practice, problem solver mind practice, first growl practice, living practice, loving blessing practice, chanting, oh yes, chanting with all our heart to the divine ones so fully and so completely that we then come to directly experience that we are the divinity that we are chanting to. We are the divine love that we've been looking for. We are this beloved that we call to. We are the divine, elegant wholeness, each of us a unique expression of one pure, absolute, eternal essence. And in this beloved dream, we can be awake. The lovely possibility of a human life.